Hi, I am Diana Lazov. I am from Russia. I currently work at the Marxe School of Public and International Affairs at Baruch College. Currently, my title is Assistant Director of Academic Operations and Global Initiatives. I've been living in the US for past 10 years. Today, I'm here to speak with Dipika and Anuz in the podcast at the end of the day. And we will be talking about my career development and transition here in the US.
Diana, thank you so much for your time.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for inviting. It's great.
Yeah. It's very interesting talking about your career background. You initially started from legal background. That was something that you were doing back home in Russia.
Yes.
Walk us through your career.
Back in Russia, I was, educated mid-level career professional, rising up basically as a legal counsel in the organization where I worked. And it was great. It was, in a way fulfilling, prestigious, meaningful to me. It was awesome. Then at the end of 2009, it will be 10 years in December, I came here, and then the life turned the way that I stayed here. Right. So and I realized, I came here not really speaking English. I knew basic. I remember something from high school, basically, what I learned in a way of to say my name is Diana and I am from Russia, and that would be it, basically, right? I could say that London is the capital of Great Britain. That's all I could say. So that's very common for my generation back from Russia. So anyway, I came here and I don't speak English, and what could I do, right? And my husband was, very supportive in that sense, and from the first days of our life together, he said, your only responsibility right now is to learn English. Wow. And he said, I don't expect you to earn money. I don't expect you to go and work anywhere and do anything but learn English. Mm-hmm. And he said, it's your basic job right now. And he was so funny in a way. He would come from work every day and he would check what I learned. Mm-hmm. And I would have to do homework. Oh. He would check that. He gave me books, and it was like a full-time job for me. So I spent lots of hours, learning English at home in the first 2 months.
But how did you learn? What were the tools you used?
He gave me some books that he used to learn English. Right. He turned off Russian TV at home entirely. So he said no access until you learn English. So that was great. At the time, we lived right by the public library, and that's a beauty of New York in a way. You can you get across library anywhere you walk. There are so many of them. And so I was walking by and I saw this sign, free English courses, and I just walked in, and somehow I managed to speak and ask, where can I sign up? And so they sent me, where I could apply, and I got accepted to that class. And from the library course, I learned that there are other, additional resources to learn English. And in one of your podcasts, actually, you said that how there are so many free resources here in New York to learn English. Yeah. And that's our, first and the most needed basic need for immigrants to learn English. Yeah. So we have access to those, and not everyone sort of knows about them, or everyone is comfortable to use them maybe. Yeah. But from the library, I learned that there are conversation groups in the library. I joined those. Then I learned from one of my classmates in the class that there is a community group, the community organization. It's called COJO, Council of Jewish Organizations of Flatbush. And I learned that there are courses there, free of charge. So I signed up there as well. And I ended up going to courses or conversations group every day for at least 4 hours in different locations. So my day was basically okay, I'm going there today, I'm going there tomorrow. So I used at least 3 different resources just to go and learn English. So, and that's how I spent a full year.
Full year?
Yes, and at the end of the full year, one of my teachers at one of the courses said, look, Diana, I'm happy to keep you here, but you reached certain level, like you need to do something else.
Right.
It's like, there's nothing much more we can give you here. And your English is great. And I'm like, what do you mean great? It's terrible. It's the worst. And she's like, you just don't know that it's great. Listen to me, you need to do something next. And I was like, what next? I don't know, no one hires me. I don't know what to do. I apply for jobs, no one wants to hire me. And
What kind of
like,
jobs you applied?
I applied for basic like data processing jobs. I applied for some executive assistant jobs, like just being like front desk person.
Right, and you never called?
I either never got a call or I would get an interview and be just like never get a call back, basically.
Right.
And the one thing that happened is that, so my teacher at one of the English courses pushed me to think about going to college. And I said, look, I don't know if I can do college. Like, how do I go with this English? Like, it's education. Like, I can't. She's like, you can. And she basically I consider her to be my first mentor, probably, in a way, to sit down with me and talk to me about what is it that you want to do. And she said, look, I know you were, legal counsel back in Russia. Is that what you want to do? Or do you want to do something else? Think about it. And she said, it's your chance maybe to change the path. And I said, look, I would maybe be interested to learn and be a lawyer here, but A, it's expensive to get a degree. And my degree from Russia wouldn't apply at all. Like, it's not transferable in a way. And B, I was like, I would probably need another 2 years of preparation just to apply. And I need a job now. So, and she was like, well, maybe think about something else. You don't have to stick to be a lawyer. And she said, think about public schools. And she worked at Baruch College actually back in her career.
Oh, wow.
She did, and then she moved to other places. And she said, look, why don't you think about CUNY? CUNY has so many colleges, so many schools. I'm sure you will find something there that is interest of you. And she said, what is it that you are more, maybe passionate about? I said, look, I really want to, I'm really interested in nonprofit sector, and I would want to make some impact. I would want to do something in that area. So if it's not being a lawyer, basically, I would want to be or government area. So she said, oh, look, I know a program. There is a public administration program at Baruch College. Take a look. So I said, okay, fine, and I forgot about it.
Did you intentionally forgot about it?
No, I was just like, it's not time yet. I wasn't ready. And she talked to me, but I was like, you kind of listen sometimes, but you don't hear,
Since we are talking about her a lot, why don't you give a quick shout out? What is her name?
Her name is Martha Verma, and she was the ESL teacher at the Council of Jewish Organizations.
Okay,
and she was so great.
So when did you start your school?
I started in 2012, spring. I went to CUNY Welcome Center, and they said, just go there.
Okay.
So I walked in, there was there was a front desk person who greeted me, and just basically she advised me on what to do and the application steps. And from that point, I remember how I was like, okay, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just like, it's easy.
Wow.
It's so easy. While preparing for, this is all like 2011, and there's like a preparation process for all this. Like, you have to pass TOEFL, you know, all that. So I had to prepare for that. I had to take a sample test, and I took a test. So it was all that. The first day, did you do the student orientation in your first semester?
Yes.
So I had to do that too. So I walked into the room full of people, room 301.
Okay.
And I sat down, and I got so panicked that how all these people in the room are so great, so amazing, and they are so deserving to be here, and I'm not.
I kind of felt the same.
Right? You did? See, it's not just me. Yeah. So I got up, I left, I went to the restroom, and I cried. And I was like, I was calling my husband and I told him, I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm walking away right now. I don't deserve to be here. Like, I can't do this. And he's like, you can do it. You can. Just go and say that you're Diana and, you're here to study public administration and, you're from Russia and that's enough.
Yes.
And I said, okay, I'll try. So somehow I gathered whatever left of my confidence was there and went there. And it was fine.
It was fine, okay.
Yes, it was okay. And that's it's funny now how I attend the student orientations, I attend the welcome sessions, I speak to students about the opportunities that they have, and it's interesting how I'm like on the other side now, and at that moment, back in 2012, I probably couldn't even imagine that I would be doing what I'm doing now.
Yeah, so you going to the washroom and crying just because you think that you do not belong to this place with so good students, perfect students, and you are a newly admitted student in the School of Public Affairs at Baruch College. And fast forward to now, you are in the position of Assistant Director of Academic Operations and Global Initiatives in the same school.
Yes, that still amazes me.
Yeah. First thing,
how it happened?
How did you get a job in the school?
I got involved a lot in school activities. I got involved a lot with student clubs, and I stayed in touch with staff members that I met from school and my current manager that I met there. And basically, I stayed in touch whenever some, again, volunteering or helping call would come, I would respond. And then once the same call goes and Angelina, my current manager, I emailed saying, I would like to help. She's like, we're at capacity, but I'll keep you in mind. And I had this bold thing to say. I was like, and she asked, how are you? How are you doing? And I said, look, I'm looking for jobs, but if you hear something, let me know. So she emails back to me and she said, well, we have an opening here for college assistant. Like, would you like to come to interview? So I said, yes, sure. So I came, I got an interview, and I got a job as a part-time college assistant. And then that's how it started. I got them by the time I graduated, I got a position of coordinator of academic operations. I'm happy with what I'm doing now. I'm very passionate about it. But back when I started all this, if we even go to 2010, from learning English and from trying to wrap my mind around who I am going to be, that's never crossed my mind to work in higher education. It was more of a chance in a way that I took, and I realized that's where I belong. And when I was considering my career options and why I went at the end for public administration degree, was that I was thinking I would go for nonprofit or for government job, doing something in HR. Because I have background in HR as well, back in Russia. So I thought if I can't apply my sort of legal counsel experience here, I can apply my HR experience here. So, and that's where my mind was. I took actually a lot of HR related courses in school, and that's the first 2 semesters, that's where it was going, and I was applying for jobs in that area. So, and then one day it changed. Right. And how that happened, I guess it's just by chance, right? By taking this part-time opportunity and realizing that it's a dream job. Wow. And it is a dream job. So I do everything I love. I get my fair share of bureaucracy work that I would get in HR. But I also get the much more sort of rewarding experience working with students, working with faculty, with staff, with the community. And I work it just gives me such a big exposure to so many people, just to impact so many things. So so somehow it became a dream job.
If any of our audience would like to reach out to you for career guidance,
my email address is diana.lazov@baruch.cuny.edu, and I'm happy to be in touch.
Yeah, and if you are emailing Diana, make sure you mention at the end of the day in the subject title so that Diana knows where these emails are coming from.
Okay, so on that note, it's time to say bye-bye. And I know I have been saying Diana and Diana.
Both were
with
fine.
her name. Okay, so before we sign up, I would like to say thank you so much to the ESU, Arnik, for providing us this space to record the podcast. And if you are a new immigrant in the US, especially in New York City, definitely get in touch with ESU Arnik because they provide free English language classes and free professional development classes.
And definitely check out our website, podcast@theendoftheday.com, to listen and watch previous episodes. And do subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, whichever platform you follow.
Okay, on that note, it's time to say bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Hi guys, we have the 100th episode of our weekly podcast at the end of the day coming soon.
So, we would like to invite you to our 100th episode.
We would like to acknowledge you and celebrate all the amazing guests we had in our podcast.
So please send us your feedback.
Send us your feedback and wishes for us.
Text us, send us your audio feedback, video feedback, anything you want to say for our 100th episode.